Is recruiting still a thing? Are people still growing? Are companies still having success? Talk to me, Eric.
I have been saying this for the last 18 months or so, that this season in our profession is a unique season. It is survival of the fittest, and the fit are going to win, and the unfit are going to get smashed. Most in our profession had a spike in business that was unique and special, and people hit their peak checks and everything was easy and everybody was looking for a home business, and people were just pushing buttons and making money. People got quote unquote Zoom fatigue and they stopped wanting to build business on Zoom, and it became work. Recruiting dropped, sales dropped. And when it did, people had a choice of picking one of two narratives. So one narrative is we had a good business and then we got a big spike, we got a big bonus during pandemic, and then it came back down to normal. Or they could have the narrative that business is down like 50%, 40%. We should be worried. I guess both could be true depending on your point of view, but one's healthy and one's unhealthy. And the unhealthy ones, they're chasing their peak check, doing what they were doing during the pandemic versus adjusting to what has always worked, which is a blend of online and in person, a blend of fundamentals. And if you build using fundamentals, finding prospects, inviting, presenting, following up, closing, getting people started, promoting events, you build with those 7 fundamental skills, you're going to be fine. And the companies that do that are going to be fine.
Someone should write a book on those 7 steps.
Yeah, right?
Oh, wait, you did.
If you just sit there with your head in your sand, or you blame, or you jump from company to company,
right, or
you throw your own temper tantrum about it, then you have nobody to blame but yourself. You got to go grab those customers. You got to go be active to go find people to talk to. And then there's other trends, and the other trends are, we're just going to sell. We're not going to recruit, which is fine. Sales are fine. There's nothing wrong with sales. You only get paid for sales. That's the only activity that actually creates a commission. However, there's indirect ways that you can earn additional commissions by building a bigger team. Then people are like, no, but I'm really in love with my product, and I don't get so much pushback when I talk about my product. So I'm just going to talk about my product, and I'm just going to sell product. That's fine. Nothing wrong with that, so long as you want to have a small business. If you want a big business, you can't reach the world by yourself. You need to build a team that can support a big business. Our business is much easier built with a lot of people doing a little bit than a few people doing a lot, or one person doing everything. So you got a choice. You could be a one person do everything. You could be a few people do a lot, team builder, or you can build a team of a huge amount of people doing a little bit. It's just a lighter lift if you have a huge team doing a little bit. It's a balancing of the blend of online and offline, using online for scale, and then building personal relationships with those people in order to build stickiness and longevity.
And obviously you work with a lot of companies. You've worked with companies all over the world, and you said like the different markets, different countries are relying on the attraction marketing. So the ones that are growing and they're being proactive, what are some of those things? And I know you're going to cover this, but what are some of those proactive money-making activities that you're seeing?
It sounds so basic. If you're willing to start and engage in more conversations, you're going to do more business. Most people are trying to build a big, huge team and doing it by having a very small amount of conversations. Conversations are the starting point, and starting and staying in conversations with as many people as possible, because just good things happen from conversation, as simple as that sounds. I hold conversation challenges with people in events around the world, and I just tell them, pretend you don't have a business, pretend you don't have a product, and just have a conversation with people. And there will come an opportunity while in that conversation for you to pivot to your product or to your opportunity. You don't even have to manufacture one. That's about as basic as it gets. Just start conversations and talk to people. And then from there, you can invite them to take a look. There's some skill involved. how do you build a team? I mean, if you wanted to build a soccer team or a baseball team or a bowling team, any kind of team, you make a list of who plays softball, you give them a call and saying, I'm putting a team together. You want to be a part of it? It's not that challenging to think about it that way.
Then what's the reason they don't do it?
Fear, usually. Fear of being judged,
Yep.
fear of not knowing what to say, fear of looking embarrassed, fear of the unknown, insecurity, those types of things. It's part of the reason why you see that people who come from nothing end up building big businesses in network marketing, because they don't have a lot of reputation to lose. They're willing to risk reputation and talk to people. Sometimes the big shots don't want to be judged, even if they believe in product of the company. And because they don't want to be judged, they just don't take action. Or when it gets hard or they get some pushback, they shrink away because their reputation is more important than their career or their happiness, In the hack that I figured out, because recruiting was uncomfortable for me as a leader or as a builder in my business, as an introverted person, talking to people and getting out there, getting out of my comfort zone, getting out of my house, getting away from my computer and actually connecting with another human being was uncomfortable. I learned a hack, and the hack was to do it quick. All I would do is recruit for as quick as I could and as long as I could to bring in as many people as I could.
Right.
And I helped develop my team so they'd be more productive.
Yeah.
I didn't love the recruiting part, but I found that you don't have to love everything that you do in business. If you want to be successful in business, you have to do some of the things that you don't love. You have to do some things when nobody's watching. You have to do some things when you don't have a supervisor sitting over your shoulder making sure that you do it. You have to do some things in the nooks and crannies of your life, 15 minutes here and 15 minutes there. You have to find a way to employ yourself. How do I make myself do something that I don't want to do? One is to want more for your life, but two is to find a vehicle. Find the vehicle, right? And then you have to do your piece. The vehicle's just going to be there. It's going to work with or without you. You have to do your piece, and you have control over what you do, because your company can be dropping and you can still be rising. You could be breaking records as far as speed and growth and everything else. So, but it comes down to ultimately, are you building a team or not?